anything back.
Oh.
Come on, get in.
Oh
you want in, right?
Oh my God.
Come on. No, we don't want in. We don't want in.
See, those coyotes are...
They're across the river.
Real Bigfoot encounters will completely redefine what terrifies you. Tonight we'll show you chilling, bone-chilling stillness on a fallen log, and a camping trip shattered by a blinking red light and direct spirit box warnings. Are you ready to see the evidence? On November 8th, 2021, YouTuber Josh from Exploring with Josh entered a secluded forest in Kentucky to search for possible evidence of Bigfoot. There he met a researcher named Jeff, who had physical material suggesting that something large may have been moving through the nearby hills. Jeff first showed him a cast of what he described as a juvenile footprint. The print had been found after a loud crash came from the brush. The toes were spread wide, which Jeff believed showed a heavy animal suddenly stopping in deep mud.
We're going to talk about this Bigfoot stuff and also what Jeff's holding.
So this track, and the toes are kind of messed up a little bit.
Right.
Because of the mud and everything that was on the ground at the time. Actually, the first print I ever saw in the woods, because I was very skeptical, and I'm still on the fence because I haven't actually seen the big guy. Stuff that makes you think, what's going on here? But this track, you can see the toes there.
You can see
There's the last three. And then the other two are right here because of the mud on the ground.
Yeah, because it's pressed down.
But this would have been a female or a juvenile because it's smaller.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
The search became more serious when Jeff brought out the so-called Goliath tracks. These prints were much larger than a human hand and were said to come from an 8-foot-tall creature that some believe watches hikers from the silent ridgelines above.
My channel is creatures and cryptids and things,
right.
You know, ghost, weird stuff.
Yeah, if you're in the Bigfoot field, yeah.
There's some Bigfoot people that believe that he's not so much flesh and blood and he's like you know, paranormal, aliens, mystical. Now these are the big boys.
There's some, I didn't know there was more.
That's what I was saying, that's small.
This is a track that was taken in Trimble County, Kentucky. This was taken in Trimble County, Kentucky.
Wow.
And he calls this the Goliath tracks.
Dude, that thing's massive.
This is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
As the two men pushed deeper into the darkness, they used red lights to avoid drawing attention. In night woods, softer red light can make animals react less sharply, while helping people keep part of their night vision. Then something happened that changed the mood of the investigation. A heavy wood knock rang through the forest strong enough to seem like it moved through the ground.
I've actually found corn husk, on the other side of the river. And I don't understand how it got there. So I found it very close to a place where I think I got some knuckle prints. And there was like all these shells from these freshwater clams and things where something had ate them. Because they literally had to carry this across the river or whatever it was. There's not many animals that size that could do that. And there wasn't any teeth marks. There was no like, you know, where I hold it in my mouth like a raccoon or something.
Could be like him, like almost like how we eat apples and just walk with it and just chuck it. Yep. Could be the same thing, but with the coin. So we're keeping an eye out on the ground as well as we walk, just in case for footprints or anything. It's a bit hard, you know, a lot of deer have crossed through here. Everything's all kind of just botched down, so it could be anything that can walk through here at this point.
They travel up and down here.
Right.
To drink out of the river. And so this is where I found one track was down there.
To them, it felt less random and more like a signal from something nearby. Not long after, coyotes broke into a wild chorus of screams less than 100 yards away. Jeff explained that coyotes are often mentioned around Bigfoot reports almost like they act as a natural alarm when something large moves through the area.
And that's probably about 100 yards away.
They're next to us. That's fucking terrifying.
That's behind us.
Holy fuck. Dude, I don't think I've ever heard a coyote like that. It sounds like a dog, but it's worse. I'm scared. You think? What do you think they're doing? Calling more people?
They communicate that way.
Then a deep, rough growl cut through the silence. Jeff quickly reached for his firearm as strange vocal sounds seemed to come from something unseen moving beside them through the thick forest.
For my eyesight, in case I have to shoot things, that's getting pretty intense.
Yeah, it is.
It's started to back out a little bit because there's something very big growling at us. It is between us and the river, so I'm not sure where it came from. Weird things behind us.
And at one point, I was hearing voices and talking and like chanting or something.
Now, I will tell you this, sometimes in Bigfoot sightings, and it's where they try to duplicate our voices.
The hell?
So they call it faux speech, and they try to like duplicate what they hear.
If that's real, what if that's what you heard?
Dude.
That's coyote.
Hang on. See, those coyotes are...
They're across the river.
Oh my god.
We need to listen for other vocals.
But the thing...
Something said,
Okay.
At that point, they decided to leave and headed straight for the road. But something did not feel right. Instead of reaching the way out, they ended up back at the river as if they had walked in a perfect circle without meaning to.
Shit, I'm not doing no like Blair Witch shit. Like, how did we get back here?
This is where we first started.
Yeah, dude, we literally just went in a circle.
And they're never gonna believe this because it's YouTube.
Yeah.
How the hell did we get back here?
I don't know.
How did we get to the river?
That actually doesn't make any sense.
We're back where we started.
We haven't heard him in a little
That
while.
makes no sense.
It don't
No,
though.
it doesn't.
Okay, let's just talk about this. Be like, oh, they're trying to get views. We have no clue how we just got back to the river because we were walking straight to the gravel road. I've been in these woods a ton.
And I don't want to do this.
Maybe the noises, the coyotes, and the strange route were all separate things happening at the same time. Or maybe the forest was confusing them more than they realized. But if they were really walking straight toward the road, how did they end up back where they started? This clip feels unusual for one simple reason: almost nothing happens. And that silence is exactly why so many people keep watching it. On the YouTube channel Unexplained Mysteries, a video has been spreading online with many viewers calling it some of the clearest Bigfoot footage ever captured. Some even say it looks more convincing than the famous Patterson-Gimlin film. The figure sits on a fallen log as if it belongs there. It is not hiding, charging, or reacting. It just stays calm, heavy, and still. Its body appears covered in thick hair with broad shoulders and long arms resting naturally. The face looks animal, but human enough to make people pause. For many viewers, the strange part is not what it does, but what it does not do. It never performs for the camera. In wildlife footage, calm behavior can feel more real than sudden action. Something unaware of being watched usually does not pose chase or react on cue. That is what makes the clip uneasy. The figure simply looks into the forest as if listening to something deeper in the trees or resting in a place it knows well. That is when the viewer comments start to make more sense. Some people focus on the body shape, the face, and the way the arms hang. Others argue that the stillness is what makes it feel real, because the figure does not act like someone trying to be seen. So the question becomes simple. When you watch a clip like this, what convinces you more: the details you can see, or the way the subject behaves like it never knew you were there? Have you ever walked through woods so quiet that every sound feels too close? Someone went back for answers, but the forest only gave them more questions. Uploaded on January 26, 2026, this clip comes from Exploring with Angelo, where Angelo and his friend Frank returned to a snow-covered forest that had left Angelo uneasy during an earlier visit.
We're back at what we've been calling the Whispering Woman Woods, aka the Bigfoot Woods, or I don't even know what this place is anymore.
Angelo had also connected the area to stories of Bigfoot, which made every strange sound in the trees feel harder to ignore. At first, the trip feels simple. Fresh snow covers the ground. The woods are quiet. Angelo and Frank try to find the same trail Angelo had walked before. They joke around, talk about the weather, and enjoy the hike. The snow softens the forest around them, and for a while, everything feels calm in that still winter way.
There's a bit of a story on this place, but I guess I'll just kind of give you the quick version. But the reason why we call it the Whispering Woman Woods is because there is apparently this woman who whispers going through here. There was a bunch of hikers, encountered this woman, and then a little while after, she basically disappeared.
As they continue farther in, their attention slowly changes. The conversation becomes lighter, then starts to fade. They are still speaking, but now they are listening more carefully to everything around them. Nothing clear jumps out at first.
You heard that, right?
Yep.
Odd. Last time I was here, I heard pretty much the same thing.
After that, they try not to let the moment take over. They keep walking and try to stay casual. But the tension is already there. The forest looks the same, yet it no longer feels the same. The strangest part is that nothing appears. Whatever is making the sound stays hidden close enough to be heard, but still outside their sight.
Oh. The hell was that?
No, I might. Let's see. That was loud. Yeah, it could have just been a tree, but it sounded like something hit a tree.
Yeah, that definitely sounded like an impact.
Yeah, it sounded almost violent.
Is that a whistle?
I heard a knock and a whistle.
Yeah.
That was loud.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know if it was just a tree or...
And because the place already carried a Bigfoot connection, the unseen movement starts to feel less like random noise. As they move deeper, the timing of the noises begins to feel less random. It no longer seems like distant wildlife or the wind moving through trees. Most people probably would have turned back by then. Angelo and Frank do not. Later, something small causes them to split up for a few minutes. One of them walks back alone while the other stays behind. And anyone who has been alone in dark woods knows how fast that changes everything. Every step sounds louder. Every shadow feels heavier. Every small noise feels like it is happening right beside you. That is when the situation starts to feel much closer.
What's doing that? Oh. Okay, something keeps grunting. I don't know what the hell it is. Something also smells weird. It legit smells like... Sorry, I know my glove's in the way, but... It smells like... musty.
When they meet back up, the mood has changed. The joking fades. Before leaving, they decide to try one last small test, just to see if anything happens after they step away. And something does.
Provided this stays. And it does not. That's not going to work. Alright, looks like ground it is. Leave that break.
You do not see everything, but you see enough to understand why they felt they were not alone. That is what makes this clip stay with you. Maybe it was wildlife moving through the snow. Maybe someone was hidden nearby. Or maybe the Bigfoot stories made the whole forest feel more alive than it should have. What do you think Angelo and Frank experienced that night? Have you ever been somewhere so quiet that one small sound changes everything? This night began with comfort, then slowly turned into fear. The clip comes from Dee's dark adventure, and what makes it stand out is how calmly it begins. There is no chaos at first. It is just people settling in for the night, talking, adjusting their gear, and getting ready to relax.
Did I touch some metal? I didn't step on any metal. I just heard metal. I don't want no metal, no, man. But I am near metal, so maybe there's... the piece under here I did not see. Why did everything go quiet?
Then a small sound breaks that comfort. It is close enough to stop them mid-sentence. You can feel the shift as they stop talking and start listening. That is the first sign that the night may not stay peaceful.
That bird didn't sound right, did it? That bird sound right?
I just saw an orb go by.
No, you didn't. In the sky?
I thought it was a lightning bug, but there is no lightning bugs. Went right in front of my vision.
Yeah, he's got new glasses too, so he's seeing great today, guys. He's been...
Soon another sound joins in. It feels out of place. At first it is subtle, but then it repeats. The more it happens, the more wrong it feels. Then they bring out the devices.
Yeah, I heard it. Shh. What was that?
Oh, God, I don't know.
I was hoping it just wasn't real.
I'm losing it. I seriously just... No, dude, no. The bus.
What?
The bus. Dude, David, please, I want to go. I don't want to be here anymore. We're out in the middle. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's out there. Nobody's there. That's what the bus.
At first, the mood feels curious and almost playful, but within minutes, the curiosity turns into tension. The responses seem repeated and focused, and when the same word comes through again, it lands much harder.
Ask one more time, what is out here with us?
The beast. I heard it again. Beast. Wait, stop. Stop. Dude? Dude, is that a wolf call or a regular call? Like, dude, I'm going in. There's real wolves. Dude, I'm getting inside, dude.
Then comes the visual moment. From the corner of her eye, she sees someone move past the edge of the light. You can hear her trying to understand what she just saw. After that, everything feels tighter.
Right through there. Okay, I was looking over here, and out of the peripheral, I saw him take his knee and step. And when I looked, it was a black and white flannel with jeans. And when I looked straight at him, he disappeared. And that's why I was freaking out, because I was like, I did not just see that. I had the camera over here and with your light, and I was pointing that light over here. But I don't know, and I'm not liking this, man. I saw the jeans and the black and white flannel, long sleeves shirt.
There is crunching outside, something brushing near the camper, and a faint growl that does not sound right. Then a small blinking light appears deeper in the dark. The unsettling part is that the light appears near the same area where she had seen the figure earlier.
Go back. I'm trying to go back, but my light's messing up. And I see eye shine across the way over there. That eye shine. I can't, my hands are full. I can't zoom. Is it? Which way?
Then the voices through the device become more direct. A warning comes through clearly enough to make her freeze. By then, she is no longer laughing.
It just said, get out, D. Get.
Nothing physically breaks in, but the footsteps, the disappearing figure, the repeated words, and the blinking red light create something heavier than a jump scare.
Made it. I love I made it. It's the worst night of my life. Every single noise I heard, I thought that was the end. Tired. I'm going to. No, man.
When morning finally comes, the relief in her voice says enough. Maybe every sound had a simple cause. Maybe the figure and the light only seemed connected. But if you were there, which part would have scared you most? They went into the woods, chasing a strange tip from a biologist. But when the evidence started pointing to something huge, the forest answered back. YouTuber Grafnix and his crew traveled into northern Ontario in a video uploaded on June 29, 2022, after receiving information from an anonymous biologist. According to the researcher, he had crossed paths with a legendary Yeti while being followed by a strange organization active in the area.
Okay, this road is like... God.
Oh my lord, that was a big one.
Where are you taking us, bro?
Yep.
Holy moly, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Don't look at me, man.
Like
Nick is the one telling me to go here.
Right? Here comes another freaking pothole. Here we go.
Go, Michelle!
Oh!
The cabin sat at the end of a damaged, pothole-filled road cut off by quiet forest and isolation. Inside, the crew found research files and photographs showing a massive creature covered in white fur. But the biologist who had gathered the material was nowhere to be found, as if he had vanished into the wilderness.
Oh, it's where we are. Is it a map?
Dude, look at these photos.
This is where we are right now.
Wait, is it? Wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, Northern Ontario, right here.
He mentioned to us that he took a huge, and he broke it down into 3 zones that are most likely to have Bigfoot there based on all of his research. So this is us.
Whoa.
Right here.
At the site, Grafnix discovered a 17-inch footprint along with written notes describing the creature as aggressive and highly territorial. In the wild, large animals often leave signs to mark space-worn rivals or show control over an area. A huge footprint, damaged trees, and repeated sounds in the same zone can make people wonder whether something is simply passing through or guarding its ground. Then, the situation changed. The back door suddenly swung open toward the darkness, and a low, rough moan came from the tree line.
Oh, shh. What was that? No. Wait, quiet. Dude, okay, let's get back inside.
That was no bear. That was no.
Dude, that had to have been Bigfoot.
What the hell was that?
Dude, you guys, you all heard that, right?
That couldn't have been a wolf, or couldn't have been a damn bear, couldn't have been anything.
That had to have been Bigfoot. Like, that was clearly a call.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. That could have been anything.
Okay.
I mean, I will say it's possible that because we just saw this, we're kind of like, Bigfoot, but
Exactly.
I'm a little skeptical. That wasn't normal animal way here.
All I'm saying is these photos isn't good enough for me to just believe right away that there's this thing in the forest.
But we just heard the noise. Like, what more do you need to...
We've been in forests all the time. We've heard crazy noises all the time.
The team tried calling out into the woods, hoping something would answer. Instead, a loud, forceful roar came back almost immediately. It sounded controlled, almost aware. The crew rushed back inside as the ground seemed to shake around them. Later, they moved into a valley where trees had been snapped or damaged nearly 9 feet above the ground. A fresh trail of blood led them toward a clearing scattered with bones, making it seem like a dangerous predator could still be close.
So this is exactly what I was talking about. Just the bark here is stripped off. And the reason that is from something knocking on it. Doing it up here would be too much for me, but like a creature that was
8, 9 feet tall.
So did you see this?
Oh, wait a minute.
There's like uncovered
Indent here.
and there's another one here. Okay, wait. Okay, so look how wide my stance is, all right? Maybe like his foot, watch, slid.
And then it's literally right next to the bent freaking branch there.
Okay, let's try some knocks again and see if we get anything back.
A recovered USB drive later showed that a company called Orchid was funding the project. The apparent goal was to clone the Yeti, but before the team could fully understand what they had found, they realized they were not alone. Their proximity sensors suddenly went off. Then a huge shadow pulled away from the trees and charged toward the porch.
Dude. It has been a few months now since we have initially hired this biologist to track and discover the whereabouts of this specimen. It has come to my attention that based on the results presented by this doctor.
The crew ran for their vehicle in a panic while a corporate agent was attacked somewhere in the brush. They escaped the valley at high speed, leaving behind the cabin the research and the unanswered mystery of what was really out there.
Dude, he's trying to get in, man. Dude, listen, you guys, pack it up. You guys are gonna go out the back to the car. I'm gonna distract it and make sure it stays at this front door, okay? I'm gonna distract it. Just grab it and go, okay? Come on, get in. You want in, right?
Oh my god.
Come on.
No, we don't want in. No one want in.
Getting out the pictures? You got the blood sample?
Guys, go now, okay? Get to the car. I'll be right behind you guys.
Hurry up. Got everything?
Go.
Let's go. Get in the back, Oh my god, you good?
Some viewers believed the encounter felt real, while others said the video looked staged. Either way, it clearly succeeded in making people afraid. But if that shadow was not the Yeti, then what was chasing them through the forest? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.